welcome back to the show, and welcome to the show Olly Harrison, who is a wonderful farmer, who was at the farmers' protest yesterday in London. Olly, great to have you on the programme. Tell me, what was it like in Whitehall? Because the farmers were getting arrested. I thought that was utterly, utterly disgusting.
It was a bit of a circus, to be honest. If you could have played the Benny Hill music all the way around town. So originally there was a protest planned in Whitehall on, well, yesterday morning. I can't remember the date. What date was it? 26th, was it? So Whitehall was going to be closed. There's going to be some tractors there. There's going to be a bit of a stage and some speakers. I was going to be one of the speakers. And then I'd travelled there the night before to hear that the police, the Met, had been told that they had to pull the permission for it happening and try and cancel it.
And that's by the government. I understand it was either coming from Number 10 or the London Mayor.
We think so, yeah. I mean, there's only someone with that kind of much weight, to be fair, which equally meant then there's a lot of people already on the way, a lot of tractors already on the way with nowhere to actually go. So I think I did some news the night before, and I said they'd need the army to stop them, and they probably nearly did, because they all turned up, and because there was nowhere to park them, they were just stuck in all the side roads everywhere. It just completely gridlocked the city. There was 3 helicopters up looking what was going on, people scratching their heads. There was just police everywhere, just for no reason, really, when we could have all been corralled into Whitehall and just left to our own devices.
So tell me about the farmers who were arrested. What I know is several arrests took place. Did you know anybody who got nicked by the cops?
I've spoken to all of them, yeah. So one guy I knew, he'd been in London with us a few weeks before. He was arrested for beeping his horn stationary. Apparently that's an offence, didn't realise.
Beeping his horn?
Yeah.
And yet you've got those horrible little, whatever they are, rickshaws with fluffy seats blaring out awful 90s music, zipping around London every 5 seconds.
Yeah. But apparently you can't beep your horn stationary. So he was arrested, and then they realised his tractor was in the way, so they unarrested him and let him go. Another guy, they wanted him to move his tractor, but he couldn't because there was a lamppost in front of him and then 30 tractors behind him. So he was looking whether he could, and then they just arrested him for no reason. He felt like they were trying to provoke him into having a reaction, and he was just remained calm, and they took him to the station, and then they let him out a few hours later.
I mean, this is really, I find this so disgusting, because the way that farmers have been treated, and that smug Starmer stood up, Smug Reeves actually stood up in Parliament yesterday and reminded the nation, we are the people who have applied inheritance tax. It's like, really? You think you're going to get a round of applause for that, do you? I just think it's utterly insane that the people who feed the country, we got 6 days worth of the ability to feed ourselves as a nation in a crisis. Outbreak of World War II, we had enough food to feed us for 6 weeks. This is of critical national importance. The farmers have every right to protest about the way they're being treated. And this really thin-skinned, nasty, spiteful government turn around and ban the protest. Oh, but if you want to protest some foreign war for anybody anywhere, go ahead. It makes me sick to my stomach. Are the farmers planning to have a second bite? Are they saying, look, you might have tried to stop us this time, you might have arrested some of us, but we're not going to be silent?
I mean, ultimately, we want a conversation with the Treasury to sort this out once and for all. We don't want to be going to London all the time. We just want to grow food. We just want to produce it. You've just been talking about energy security then. Well, before you'll run out of food before you'll run out of energy. We can all put an extra jumper on to keep warm. We don't need lights, but we've got to eat 3 times a day. And this is the thing that they're just not getting. And they think, oh, they're all wealthy. And well, no, because that wealth means nothing. We don't own the farm. We just look after it till the next generation. And to try and leave money out of that doesn't exist, it's just make believe. The profits aren't there. We've had a drought this year. We had loads of wet weather last year. We haven't made any money for 2 years. And the only thing that we could maybe say is, we've got a little bit of capital growth, so it means we can up the overdraft because we've got security with the bank. Well, when you haven't got that capital growth because the economy is stalled and someone's undermining the value of your land, it's a pretty desperate times. And this is the problem, they're driving farmers to the brink. We've had farmers taking their lives over this policy. That they're aged, they might have some health concerns, and they've worked their whole life to see it lost to some government policy and sadly they've been taking their lives by April. Well, we're determined to not let any more of this happen. They've got to start listening. They've got to change the policy. They had a proposal put to them that had probably sort about 80% of the farms out. It would have still affected the big farms, which again still isn't really fair because they're producing most of the food. But the perhaps wouldn't have been the anger there was yesterday. But why they suddenly decided, I mean, just so that Rachel and Keir didn't get a bit of noise on the way to work, that they had to kick us out of Whitehall and then just cause chaos over London. It probably cost 10 or 20 times what it would have cost the police. It was just embarrassing. And pointless. I think there's an FOI going in actually to find out what that costs compared to one of the other protests, to just say this is what it cost you just to save some embarrassment.
It's ridiculous. This government are utterly atrocious. I mean, every single passing day, I think, can they get worse? And they do. They do. Look, keep up the good work. Keep fighting the good fight. Britain backs you. You know that. And thank you so much for what you do to keep this nation well fed. Olly Harrison, farmer. I mean, what is a government supposed to do? Right? Ask yourself that basic question. What are they supposed to do? They are supposed to defend the integrity of the nation, right? They're supposed to make sure they are not invaded by foreigners. Oh, well, not managing that one, are you, Labour?